This is Skengens, a racing game on Roblox, and if you've played it for at least a little bit, you have probably become acquainted with the character in the game known as Ricky. Now, this Ricky guy is literally everywhere. He can be seen in numerous maps as well as in official UGC items. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he was considered the face of the game. However, despite Ricky being an omnipresent being within the world of Skengens, there are some major questions which linger around him. Those questions being, what exactly does this character really look like, and why are they literally everywhere? Today, I hope to answer these questions, and by doing so, we will learn some of the lore behind Ricky and Skengens. Sure, this game probably wasn't intended to have a story, but where I go, lore follows. With all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so to start, what exactly is Ricky? Well, the real answer to this question is mostly unknown and unconfirmed. You see, an official model or render was never created for this character, so we don't know for certain what they fully look like. However, using context clues around the Skengens game, we can piece together a somewhat complete picture of Ricky. We know for certain that Ricky is most notable for his wide smile. This smile is the most marketable part of the character, and it is the feature which is showcased in almost every single area in the game. Additionally, we know that Ricky owns a company titled Ricky's Repair Services, which, as the name suggests, is a company which specializes in automobile repair. With all of this in mind, you'd think that Ricky is just some happy mechanic who likes to help people out, but it actually goes much deeper than that. In almost every map of the game, Ricky's face can be seen either as a decoration or a monument or something. The maps which do have Ricky's face present in them are as follows: Forges Valley, Cosmic Roland, Home of the Skeng, Moonstroll, Bear's Cheesy Chase, and On-Road Stadium. In fact, out of all the 9 maps currently in the game, 3 of them don't have Ricky's face somewhere inside of them, and the ones that do are often in public areas, such as cities or scenic locations. We can use these portrayals of Ricky in order to help us find out what they truly look like. Now, if we take a look at the characters in Skengens, we'll notice how a majority of them are either a part of 2 species. Some of them are ball creatures, which is the name the community gave them due to the characters being literally just balls with faces. The other species which characters are a part of are the vehicle species. As the name suggests, these characters are vehicles, and although most of them you are familiar with are characters being trains, they can be other vehicles too, such as seen in the Home of the Skeng map. Using this information, as well as how Ricky is represented in the maps, I think I've nailed down Ricky's full model. In the center of the Home of the Skeng map, you can find a giant statue which, guess what, has Ricky's face on it. I believe that this statue is actually showing Ricky's true appearance, and there are a few reasons why I think this. For one, if this was what Ricky actually looked like, it would line up with how he was part of one of the main species in the world of Skengens, that being the ball species, although it would also mean how he is the only one of his species to have arms and legs, which is a little weird. Additionally, besides this model obviously having Ricky's face on it, the model is also the only version of Ricky which portrays the character as an actual being rather than just a face. Overall, I would say that this is the most likely candidate for what Ricky actually looks like. Alrighty, so now that we have a rough estimate for Ricky's true appearance, there's another question which desperately needs to be answered. That being, why is this guy literally everywhere? Not only, as I previously described, is Ricky's face present in almost every map, but the character also has a full-blown statue of themselves in the center of the city. It is quite obvious that Ricky holds some major importance in the world of Skengens to warrant such praise, and I think I may have figured it out. Do you remember a while back how I mentioned that Ricky owns and is the face of his own repair company? Well, if we take this knowledge and combine it with the knowledge of how many of the living beings in this world are vehicles, it paints a pretty clear story. Ricky is a mechanic in a world where a large part of the population is a car or train or some type of vehicle. This means that he almost acts like a doctor or medical professional to the citizens, which probably explains why he is so praised. Ricky likely saved the lives of many people in the city as well as outside of it, which also explains why he has a statue in the center of the city. It is a symbol of appreciation the citizens have towards the character in their profession. It is actually quite wholesome if you think about it. Well, I guess that solves the original two questions I had. Ricky physically is somewhat of a modified ball creature, and he uses his extra limbs to likely act as a mechanic, and in a world full of vehicles, it technically means he is a doctor. Over time, Ricky's mechanical expertise and his life-saving abilities earned him the praise and respect of almost everyone in the city, which resulted in his face being almost everywhere. Overall, it is quite a sweet story, and I wonder what the Skenjit's developers will do next with this character. That was basically all I had to say about Ricky. Sure, it isn't the craziest story, but it is still pretty cool. With all of that being said, thank you all for watching and I hope you enjoyed.